And hey there folks, this is Omega here, and welcome to a video for my top 15 games from last generation. So I decided to go with 15 because there's just so many games that I really enjoyed throughout the last gen, the PS3, 360 games. There's just a lot of them. I probably could have made a great maybe 20-ish, 25-ish, maybe even 30 list of all the games I really enjoyed from last generation, but unfortunately I had to cut it down to 15. I wanted to do 10, but there's just a few games that I thought that just had to be in there for me, so I decided to bump that up to 15. So we'll see what we have here, and just like I said, there's so many games that unfortunately didn't get on my list. At least I can name off a few of them, like the White Knight Chronicles. I put a lot of time into that. Injustice, I really like that. That's really one that I wanted to put on my list, but unfortunately, like I said, I had to trim off the fat so to get the ones that I really enjoyed. And then you got Demon Souls that didn't make the list. So there's just a few games that didn't make the list, and that I couldn't get in there, but just from all those names, the games I listed off already, you're going to see some pretty weird games and pretty awesome games in here. So anyways, enjoy it. Number 15. At the number 15 spot, it is Assassin's Creed 2. I had so much fun with this game. I love the story, I love the gameplay, I love pretty much the whole game itself. The main character Ezio was freaking awesome. That's all I can say. But like I said, elaborate a little bit more of it. I love the storyline just because of the fact that you learn who Ezio is. I just have the Desmond parts, but unfortunately, just like every Assassin's Creed, that's one of the parts that is kind of thrown out of there. But the Ezio parts were, to me, my favorite parts of the game. You just play as Ezio, and that's it. You learn who he is. You learn, what he does. You learn, he comes out as a brat at first, and then, you see him kind of transform into, the assassin that, he's predetermined to become. And to me, that was pretty awesome. You kind of go throughout his life, go throughout his younger years. You even start out as a baby Ezio. So, but enough about the story. The gameplay itself, I enjoyed it a lot. They take a lot of elements from Assassin's Creed, and then they put it into Assassin's Creed 2. They kind of streamlined a lot of the things or a lot of the gameplay elements that had me kind of off in Assassin's Creed, always having to hide yourself from the authorities and stuff like that. It wasn't always fun when you have to walk through different piles of groups just to get to your certain location. You do have that in Assassin's Creed 2, but only if you draw attention to yourself, or you do something wrong and they're after you. That's pretty much it. Then the gameplay itself was okay. The fighting, I should say. The fighting itself, it's the evolution from 2 to Black Flag right now is totally different. In this one you have the little red armor, as you could call it, on top of the enemies, which I didn't really mind. During that time the game came, I didn't really mind that. It was just like, oh, I gotta break all those are their health pretty much. I gotta break all those and then I can kill them. So and then I like the fact that it was pretty smooth back then. During when you first played it, I think this is before Batman. Maybe I'm wrong, but the fact that you could go from one enemy to the next one was pretty awesome. Something you don't find in that type of game. Mostly it's the time where you just had to fight one enemy at a time, but this one is pretty cool how you could jump between different enemies. They attack you, you could counter, you could do all that and stuff like that. So and then you also have the platforming, the jumping on the walls, and all that. That was pretty cool. It was nice and smooth. Unfortunately, I was playing it again, and it's not as smooth as 3 or Black Flag, but during that time it was awesome, just going from the ground level all the way up to the a building, and being able to scale the building to get to the top, and just things like that put together to and open world, and that's the biggest fact I love about the game. Open world, there's collectibles, there's little side missions you can do and all that, like, you know, building your own little like town, you know, to fit what you want, and, you know, having shops and stuff like that. There's small little things that, you know, they improve on as they kept going throughout the series. There's those small little things that, you know, I really enjoyed from the game. Like I said, this is the number 15, and we can only go up from there.
Ezio, my friend. Ah, ma che ti piglia!